and most magnificent, who's come the furthest, storyteller, is up next, and he has an amazing story to tell you. It's his first time on our stage. Please give it up for Blake Levinson.
So I want to start by saying that I had scheduled an eye appointment today. And I know when you have eye appointments, you usually get eye drops before they actually examine you. And normally that leaves you with very little focus. I have something I'm going to read, and I thought, you know what? I already have problems seeing, so why complicate matters? So I rescheduled. Just for you guys. And with all that said, knowing that I've yet to have my eyes fixed, sorry, as I just proved, grade on a curve, will you? So. The name of the story I'm about to read to you is Rate Your Soulmate. So you may want to take notes. Despite an ill-fated marriage at 20 followed by decades of indiscriminate dating, I plunged head first into middle age, secure in the belief that the universe would eventually fix me up with the yin to my yang, the white to my yolk, and the love to my dove. You know, my soulmate. Boy, was I wrong. Not about my soulmate's inevitable arrival, but about what a soulmate really is. The first clue to my cluelessness surfaced soon after I departed Chicago on a trip to the East Coast. My hastily planned itinerary included Manhattan, Connecticut, Block Island, and what I thought would be the pièce de résistance, a bicycle tour through Vermont. Boy, was I wrong. To catch the ferry to Block Island from Stamford, I hopped a pre-dawn train to New London Harbor, where I stood tethered to the darkness, uncertain where to await the boat. After several minutes, I spotted two other people who'd also dropped anchor. One was an elderly gentleman whose weathered Captain Ahab complexion spoke volumes about his knowledge of harbors, big fish, and the deep blue sea. 20 lengths behind him glided this gorgeous young blonde woman. Decisions. I nodded to the old man as he shuffled past, then called out to the fleet-footed beauty, "Ahoy! You know what? I don't need you." "Ahoy! Any idea where we catch up?" But before I could finish, she pointed to the pier not 15 feet away. "I'm such an idiot," I said, having read that self-effacement enhances one's attractiveness. "You doing Block Island too?" "I am," she called back. "As if our slow-ass ferry ever gets here. I'm in a huge hurry." My mind raced in search of a sharp, ice-breaking quip. "Why the big rush? You delivering blood?" She shot an adorable tilted head smile at me, then burst out laughing. "You're funny." I tried. She took a cautious step forward. "What's your name?" "People often call me Blake, probably because that's my first name." Another giggle, another step forward. "Nice to meet you, Blake. People call me Pam." Considering our mutual attraction, her to my Mad Magazine wit and me to her Vogue magazine look, my ego was euphoric. She wanted to keep chatting on the pier as well as the whole ferry boat ride to Block Island. Woo! Okay, so maybe we didn't survive the whole voyage together. You see, at one point, Pam proclaimed she was abandoning me to check out the other ocean views. Never actually uttered the word abandoning me, but with no invitation to accompany her, what else could she have meant? Staring at the hairy toes protruding from my sandals, I pondered how to best express my indifference. My impatient mouth had a different idea and plowed full speed ahead without a second thought. You coming back? Pam's brief grimace signaled she just witnessed that quality in men many women find repulsive. Neediness. Just feel like exploring, she said. As I watched her sail off into the salty mist, my heart sank down to Davy Jones' locker. Well played, sailor, I chided myself. The universe finally delivers your soulmate, and what do? You scrawl on the unopened crate, return to sender. For the next 60 minutes, the laughing seagulls mock me from above, while the melancholy waters beckon me from below. But then, just as some kid spotted the island and shouted, "Land ho!" Pam docked back alongside me, asking, "Miss me?" My cavalier response was afraid you weren't coming back. Luckily, the ensign had spoken those self-emasculating words. The ferry boat captain had blasted his big, self-aggrandizing horn. Woo! Sorry, Blake, I didn't hear you. What'd you say? I said I'm staying at the island home. How about you? Pam flashed another of her patented tilted head smiles at me and said, "Ditto." Dying to give a flip of the bird to those scornful seagulls, I instead gripped the railing and muttered, "Cool." Soulmate rating 100%. Those first 2 days frolicking with Pam on Black Island excised all doubt that she was the 1 in 7 billion perfect match created just for me. But then again, there was that one red flag. Soulmate rating 75%. You see, Pam's long-planned mini vacation was not going as planned. Her original vision had been to escape the mania of Manhattan with no company other than an able-bodied bottle of Bordeaux. And though she wasn't blatantly blaming me, I started feeling like an annoying cork crumb bobbing up and down inside her brimming glass. My knee-jerk defense? "Hey, not my fault your trip got shipwrecked." Her knee-jerk rebuttal? "Hey, you forget who hit on who at the harbor?" Soulmate rating 25%. Arrgh! Less than 48 hours and we're already having our first argument. Just as I was about to joke, I might have been better off hitting on Captain Ahab, Pam suggested we might be better off not seeing each other that day or night. Pressed for my opinion, I abruptly answered, "Ditto." The island's forecast that day, brilliant sunshine. Blake's forecast, cloudy all day. At least that was the condition inside my head until I'd found the note Pam had slid under my door. "Sorry if I was a little rash. If you're up for it, meet me on the beach at sunset and we'll share a bottle of red." Soulmate rating 100%. We shared more than just wine that wondrous evening. We shared many long hugs and kisses, as well as the conviction that our connection was no mere coincidence. It was kismet. Next day, while we both lamented my impending departure, I shared an impulsive idea. What if I skip my Vermont bicycle tour and stay here with you? Soulmate rating 75%. Having once again failed to consider the potential wake from my impetuous words, I was soon dodging debris from another relationship-threatening squall. "Oh, Vermont's gonna be so much fun," Pam said, quelling the high winds around us. "You'll barely give me a second thought." Boy, was she wrong. Soulmate rating 50%. You see, despite Vermont's calf-burning hills and eye-popping scenery, my ego wouldn't shut the hell up. Was she just a dream? Did I fight back too hard? Was she thanking the universe I finally left? Soulmate rating 100%. My blinking answering machine back in Chicago told me everything I needed to know. Oh, Blake, I miss you so, a teary voice, Pam said. Had such a fun time with you. Hope you still want to see me again. If not, I'll be sad, but we'll totally understand. Following a frenetic 6-month two-city courtship, Pam accepted my marriage proposal and soon moved from her Brooklyn Heights brownstone into my cozy apartment on Chicago's lakefront. Soulmate rating 50%. Turned out there were 2 other benefits to our cohabitation besides just giving our credit cards a much-needed rest. First, we could now instantly shower the other person with love and affection whenever we liked. Second, we can now instantly shower the other person with blame and shame, even when the problem was not theirs. Soulmate rating, 49.9%. Despite all storm warnings from our couples therapists, we affirmed our love 6 months later by exchanging vows at the village temple in Greenwich Village. Our long-term forecast by the presiding rabbi, smooth sailing ahead. We then celebrated with family and friends at a wild jazz-filled party. Soulmate rating 0%. 6 years and countless counseling sessions later, I was helping Pam move into the apartment where she'd be living during our trial separation. Several months later, she was helping my family care for me in Los Angeles, where I just survived a 14-hour surgery to remove a pesky brain tumor. Though my walnut-sized growth was benign, the tumors that had metastasized deep inside our marriage were not, and so we divorced. My next 12 months of self-imposed solitary confinement chock full of fun activities that included enduring daily physical therapy for my half-paralyzed face, learning to walk again with just one vestibular nerve, and mourning the loss of my beloved Pam. Near the tail end of that year, just as I was about to declare all hope forever lost at sea, I caught sight of some improvements in my face, my balance, and my heart. I was also experiencing heightened levels of peace and joy I had never felt before. It was this last revelation that inspired me to write, "Ahoy, Pammy! Guess the fact you're reading this letter means I finally halted all naval contemplation and mailed it to you." Jean-Paul Sartre once wrote, "L'enfer c'est les autres, hell is other people." But I'm sure had he known me, he would revise it to read, "Hell is other people on your odyssey to finding your best self." You see, while recovering from the excisions of the tumor on my brain and the love of my life, I read somewhere that no one comes to this plane to coast. We're all here to learn and grow. And that ferried me back to my old belief that your soulmate is your most perfect match. Boy, was I wrong. Turns out your soulmate's really your least perfect match. The one who puts you through hell. The one who pushes your buttons. The one who presses you to evolve like the earth presses carbon into a diamond. So am I now a diamond? Nah, not yet. But thanks in part to you, sometimes I do feel like I'm sparkling. And as for my goal to be less rash in all my words and actions, I'm working hard on how to be more conscious and aware. Like I'm aware I could have achieved all this growth without you. But fact is, I did it with you. And that's why I can now say without fear of contradiction, Pammy, you are my soulmate, 100%, no joke. And while I would have preferred if our lives together had been all gain and no pain, I have no regrets and will be forever grateful to you. Love, Blake. Pam's written response, "Oh, Blakey, I cried while reading every word of your beautiful letter. And when you mentioned you're doing better, I smiled. And just as I reached the end where you said you'd be forever grateful to me, a thought sailed from my head straight down into my heart. Diddle."